2019 Honda Insight Car Review. Do people even attempted to buy a hybrid anymore? If you peek on the sales charts, it is quite clear that being a hybrid, even one with instant name recognition just like the Toyota Prius, isn't enough in these times of fairly cheap gas. Indeed, lots of the gas-electric models which are selling well are ones that don't come up with a big deal concerning powertrains and instead proffer their higher fuel economy statistics without imitating some sort of alien space pod. The good points of 2019 Honda Insight: Civic-like excellent road manners, quiet ride, thoughtful interior. The bad points of 2019 Honda Insight: coarse engine character, busy powertrain. The pragmatically superior and conventionally crossover Kia Niro, as an example, far outsells its higher-end Hyundai Ioniq platform mate. And the Toyota RAV4 Hybrid has outsold the Prius on occasion throughout 2018. For its new 2019 Insight, Honda isn't deciding to spotlight only its hybrid pedigree and EPA fuel economy which are of up to 52 miles per gallon combined, instead focusing its pitch within the Insight as being a quiet, comfortable, very well-equipped sedan that unexpectedly happens to carry some eye-popping efficiency numbers. After a couple of attempts which are struck firmly from your oddball hybrid mold, the original wheels-padded Insight along with the more recent CR-Z Sports Coupe, to mention two, Honda will go a different route using the latest Insight, as well as your eyeballs will likely be thankful. The 2019 Honda Insight is loosely based within the Civic sedan and closely mimics that car's measurements. But it's an even more graceful car inside and outside than the Civic, with softer sheet metal contouring, back and front styling that are great for better together being a cohesive whole, along with an overall stance that sees it rival the Accord as Honda's most attractive four-door. The interior, actually, carries within the warm ambience in the current Accord sedan. Think from the Insight, then, being a Civic with any latent boy racer genes purged looking at the DNA. Same two motors, different engine. Honda essentially has the two-motor hybrid system that's been utilized in the Accord Hybrid for quite a while and adapted it for any smaller vehicle. Most on the hybrid system's innards, such as clutch packs and electric motors themselves, are carried over directly. Whereas the 2018 Accord Hybrid runs on the 2.0-liter engine, however, the Insight gets an Atkins cycle 1.5-liter inline-4 that creates 107 horsepower and 99 lb-ft of torque and which boasts an exemplary 40.5% thermal efficiency. This third-generation hybrid system works on the battery with slightly less capacity, 1.1 kWh versus 1.3, along with the traction motor is tuned for slightly less torque output. In such a case 129 horsepower and 197 lb-ft, giving the Insight a combined production of 151 horsepower. For reference, the Accord Hybrid can muster 212 horses. Honda's layout saves weight and space by skipping a normal transmission completely. The traction motor is geared straight to the drive wheels and all on the low-speed propulsion. At moderate speeds and loads, it works being a series hybrid together with the gasoline engine turn-in generators that, in conjunction while using battery, feeds capability to the traction motor. Under low loads and moderate speeds, the gas engine is geared straight to the drive wheels. However, if full load is requested, like say inside a quarter-mile run, the engine is assisted because of the traction motor and whatever charges with the battery. Bottom line, the simplicity from the no transmission is some from the craftiest engineering lately. Even though it debuted within the 14 Accord Hybrid, we're still as impressed today when we were several years ago. The 2019 Insight is often a joy drive an automobile around town. Because forward momentum primarily comes due to an electric motor, there's a near instantaneous reply to any prod on the accelerator at urban speeds that puts more mechanically complex hybrid arrangements, those from Toyota or Hyundai, as an example, to shame. And at those speeds, even under moderate acceleration, the engine should rev much to help keep up using the power demands. At lower speeds all the way to roughly 20 miles per hour, the insight go up to your mile without worrying about gasoline engine firing up, in line with Honda. Pressing the EV mode button prioritizes engine off operation momentarily but for the expense of overall MPG, since the engine will need to do more energy generation later. The insight is usually genial for the highway, provided you stay light about the accelerator. It's at these speeds if your gasoline engine is mechanically clutched for the wheels and also the traction motor tags out and in judiciously. While viewing the electricity flow display, we were treated to this mode embark on various steady speed conditions at about 40 miles per hour and above, with a maximum of 81 miles per hour in ideal conditions. However, the tables turn if you're not maintaining a comfortable speed, after which the engine can battle to respond to nudges or inclines and emit a coarse, unpleasant drone. A strong detent about 3/4 in the way throughout the accelerator pedal's travel aims to help keep you out of this particularly raucous region. In addition, the vibration in the engine may be felt a touch too prominently throughout the floor and controls. The four-cylinder doesn't remain on much if your car is stationary if you're not drawing heavily on, say, mid-air conditioning, but once we were at the stop in summer, the idle on our pre-production cars felt surprisingly lumpy. This could be due for the fact that it's loaded through the generator motor whenever it's on. Not really a sporty car, but it has a sport mode. Sport mode, which honestly feels just a little out of character in the philosophy in this sedan, really cranks the sensitivity in the accelerator pedal and somewhat alters the energy source, so, more on the battery versus the generator, for maximum punch. A tug with the left steering wheel paddle orders up more regenerative braking in 3 steps, one of the most aggressive that is nothing close on the on-pedal driving that some EV fans prefer. However, it approximates the Prius's B mode. It could possibly be that the engine seems loud occasionally because Honda did a great job mitigating road noise. Measures taken add the liberal usage of acoustically insulating glass, additional noise insulation versus the Civic, and structural changes believed to focus on noise and ride quality. Indeed, the inside's cabin is usually luxury car quiet. Active noise control uses the head unit speakers to help promote temper road noise. In addition, it will supplement the engine noise in sport mode, an impact that might be clearly heard when driving more aggressively. The Insight comes with an electrically assisted steering system which has a variable ratio rack, just such as the Civic, and using the same 35.7-foot turning circle, but it really has an even more relaxed overall feel. The brake pedal is reassuring and firm, with great brake blending relating to the friction brakes plus the electric motor's control drag effect inside the final feet of gentle stops, something hybrids don't always get right. Every Insight rides with a suspension composed of struts in the beginning and a multi-link setup out back, and many types of front and back anti-roll bars. To help tamp road vibration they include fluid-filled compliance bushings before, Touring models go for them at the spine. In a very brief drive inside an LX trim on some from the same roads we traveled inside a Touring model, the LX displayed less impact harshness, probably simply because of its taller sidewall tires, but was more susceptible to vertical motions over heaves. A little more confining than other compacts. As inside Civic, anyone 6 feet or taller would want to pay close attention to headroom. The front seats are definitely more comfortable for your long leg from the Touring, because lower cushions adjust for tilt, Nevertheless, the Touring can also include a sunroof that cuts into headroom. Likewise, a corner seat has a lot of legroom, but headroom is a bit more limited compared with other sedans this size. Thankfully, there isn't any sacrifices for your sake of hybrid packaging, a considerable trunk having a flat floor, a rear seat pass-through, and folding seatbacks. A 6040 split on X and Touring models ensure an abundance of flexibility. The Insight X and Touring have fundamentally the same 8.0-inch infotainment system because the new Accord, with integrated Apple CarPlay and Android Auto plus satellite and HD radio, 2 USB ports, and also a volume knob. Touring models add navigation, HD digital traffic, voice recognition, as well as a 450-watt stereo audio with 10 speakers, plus available Honda Link cloud-based services. Base LX models obtain a 5.0-inch screen with Bluetooth audio streaming, Pandora integration, along with a 140-watt speakers with 6 speakers. Against a similar Civic sedan, the Insight is several $1,000s more costly. Nevertheless, it's another lot nicer inside. And with its extra amenities and features, the hybrid fosters less dollars-and-cents obsession over perhaps the additional cost will pencil within the long run. Honda aims to create electrified vehicles 2/3 of the global sales by 2030. The United States will play a considerable role, Honda says, and hybrids will probably be a big piece of the pie. Although such ambitions could have seemed like a stretch inside past, the Insight shows us how Honda may just achieve its target, by hooking purse while using car, not only the numbers.